So there's a big conspiracy involving iPad batteries. Let's talk about it. I have hard evidence Apple is manipulating battery health percentage to avoid battery repair. I booked an appointment at the Apple store to get a battery replacement. They ran an analysis and came to the conclusion that my battery is at 81%. I was told that for a replacement, the iPad must have the capacity less than 80%. After a month, I checked the iPad's internal analytics file, which indicate capacity was at 79%. I got to the store, guess what the number was? 83%. Apple says my iPad was at 81% on Monday. They suggested turning it on and running YouTube vids all day until the battery dies. On the Friday, the battery was showing 83%. And that's what pretty much happened with my own iPad as well. Here's my iPad Pro 12.9 M2 I purchased in 2022. And last year the battery became so intolerably terrible, I basically started using it plugged in all the time. Especially after it reached like 20%, it would just drop off like a cliff. So I thought, hey, it's old, it's time for a battery replacement. I did my due diligence. I used the publicly available method for checking battery health, and it was in the 70s, so I went into the Apple store, more than happy to drop $250, and it was all smiles until the Apple genius told me my battery was at 82%, and unfortunately it needed to be under 80% for a battery replacement. I argued fervently that I was happy to pay, but alas, they told me to come back in a few months. Life happens and a whole year goes by. I returned to the Apple store. Battery life was worse than ever, but when they tested the battery, they told me the battery was now at 84% battery health. What? So it's become better? What on earth is going on here? Well, if we do want to follow down the conspiracy pipeline, you see, unlike the iPhone, where if you were to get a battery replacement in an Apple store, they will simply open up the phone, take out the old battery, and replace it with a fresh one. With iPads though, they are so irreparable, they simply take your old iPad and just throw it away. Yes, they have to give you a completely new iPad, and with them only charging around $250 for a battery replacement, and with a wholesale replacement iPad often costing well over $1,000, you could guess that it's very much in Apple's interest that you don't get your battery replaced, and that's where the conspiracy comes from. But apart from anecdotal experience, is there any proof that Apple's in-house battery measuring system is, well, overly optimistic? Well, to find out, I'm going to be comparing the battery of my old aged iPad with a brand new replacement. I'll do some very clever maths and then find out whether the figure from iMazing, a popular and allegedly the most accurate third-party battery measuring app, which claims the battery here to be at 78% health to Apple's 84% claim. Let's see which one's more accurate. Allons-y! So I'm using this YouTube video as our timer and test. Now Apple claims that this iPad should get 10 hours of battery life streaming videos from Wi-Fi, which is what I'm doing here right now, but because I've decided to boost the brightness all the way up to 600 nits, the maximum, I'm going to guess about 6 hours of battery should be a pretty good realistic goal. While we wait for the iPad to drain, let's talk about my rather dismal experience using this iPad for almost 4 years. So this is the 1TB 12.9-inch model with cellular, and it cost me a frankly ludicrous 3,399 Australian dollars when I bought it in October 2022. And with this magic keyboard, which also looks quite tired at the moment, and this Apple Pencil, this setup cost me close to 4,000 Australian dollars, and that's about 4,500 in 2026 terms. So why did I spend so much money on an iPad setup? Well, I had dreamt up a fantastical future where I wouldn't need to lug around my giant 16-inch MacBook to work every day. I would no longer need to try and fit this gigantic thing on an aeroplane table. Rather, I could just whip out my 5G equipped iPad and do all my video and photo editing on it. And with the power of M2 and 16 gigs of RAM, I thought this would be quite realistic. Unfortunately though, this never really happened. Lightroom and Photoshop on iPad, I discovered very quickly, were very limited, and video editing, even Apple's flagship video editor Final Cut Pro, is so limiting on iPad, I would call it basic even if it were named iMovie.
Use DaVinci.
DaVinci's very difficult for me. I couldn't even edit TikToks on it. So I couldn't do any intensive work on it, but at least I could, you know, do general productivity on it, right? Well, not with this battery life. Despite Apple claiming 10 hours of general use, I would regularly only get about 3 to 4 hours, especially with this somehow power-hungry keyboard attached. So despite spending almost $4,000 on this M2 equipped iPad, it became like every single iPad I had before it, basically just a YouTube and Netflix machine. At least the speakers and the screen were nice, right? Well, until the battery started running out, where my screen started to, well, as you can see, degrade. As I'm sure you can see, this screen has a not inconsiderable amount of dark and bright spots speckled all over it. Actually, the word speckled I think is incorrect. Maybe the right word could be dolloped. Originally, it was only a single bright spot over here, but soon more came, and now there's this huge, giant, sort of wet patch in the middle, and also when the iPad starts warming up thanks to the ultra power hungry M2 processor, these orange spots appear, which I believe to be glue under the screen reacting to the intense heat radiating from the device. And oh my gosh, is the iPad already out? Yes, after just 2 hours and 34 minutes, whilst not connected to 5G or a keyboard, nor an Apple Pencil, my iPad has already run out of battery, and yet according to Apple, this battery is perfectly healthy. Okay, let's come with me to get this iPad battery replaced. So I've come back from the Apple Store, I've started the battery test, and oh my gosh, I just want to comment that this new iPad is so much better than the old one. The screen is so beautiful. Even the texture of the metal here is so nice and smooth. Yeah, it even smells really, really nice, unlike the old one. So yes, 4 years does take a toll on an iPad. And as for battery life, well, I've gone well past where the old iPad died, so currently I'm at 2 hours and 48 minutes at full brightness, and I still have 41% of battery left. So if we do extrapolate to the moment where this should die at 0%, I should get almost 5 hours of battery life, maybe 4 hours and 50 minutes-ish. To go back to the original premise of the video, which test is more accurate? Is it Apple's, which claimed that it had 84% capacity left, or iMazing's 78%? Well, I'm going to say that using this test, this iPad would have been at around 55% battery health. So what I would say is that Apple's 84% estimate, at least, is extremely suspect. I believe that if your iPad is getting almost half the original battery life, you should definitely be eligible for a battery replacement. But what is your opinion? Is it a conspiracy theory that Apple is deliberately lying about your battery health so you can't get an iPad replacement? Or do you think that Apple has a case and that we're missing something here? Let me know in the comments below. So Davis, do you think we're missing anything here?
So I think that there is definitely something a little bit fishy going on with Apple. I know that batteries are notoriously difficult to estimate. Even batteries when brand new, they are going to be of varying different sizes. However, I think that the constantly fluctuating battery measurements that we get from Apple really does suggest that something is going on behind the scenes. And obviously it costs Apple so much money to actually replace one of the batteries, because essentially they are replacing the the entire iPad. And that really makes me think, iPads are essentially disposable devices. They are not made to be serviced, and there really needs to be a way for us to be able to replace the battery in a reasonable manner.
Yes, even if it does mean that we won't get really, really thin devices. Like, I mean, this is a lot fatter than your M4
Yeah,
iPad, but does it really matter?
I've got the M4 iPad. I think it honestly is an amazing device. But again, I am perpetually scared of the day where the battery life will fall to,
a cliff.
yeah, to 2.5 hours or whatever you had. I think fundamentally I am against, like, ever since the iPad 2 it was when they started gluing the tablets together, I think the iPad 1, the original, was the only one with a somewhat serviceable battery.
And these devices are unbelievably expensive. This costs $4,000 pretty much, and and iPads have only gotten more expensive.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but I think the EU might save us here. The EU is enforcing a rule where basically every single electronic device, apart from very small ones like earphones and rings, will require an easily serviceable battery. So I'm hoping that will force Apple to change.
And for the ladies and gentlemen at home, I definitely would recommend Apple Care One. It's only a certain amount of money each month. It's $30.
It's around 30 Australian dollars.
For 3 devices.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And we know the replacement cost for an iPad when it's old and out of warranty is $1,300
It's
for
ridiculous.
this one.
And the processors are so powerful these days that if the battery is kept up to scratch, it should last a long time.
This is only running iPad OS. All you're doing on it is Netflix, YouTube, and it's way more powerful than an iPad, than a MacBook Neo, which is doing everything.
So yeah, I think the conspiracy theory has a little bit of truth to it.
But yeah, I don't know if you've got a similar experience. Let us know in the comments.
Toodaloo.